Okay, guys, we are going to start out with the Curvy goods. So the Quite Curvy Curvy Celebrations is a stamp set and a die set sold as a bundle only. Okay, and they start November 3rd. Gosh, all of a sudden I forgot what I was doing. November 3rd. This is a bundle that you can purchase. Okay, you can also purchase only available during the promotion period, which ends January 4th or 3rd. I can't remember. You can purchase this designer series paper package. Here we go. Okay, so we have Quite Curvy, Curvy Christmas, the Curvy dies, and then I can't remember what this is called either, but it's a paper pack that's got some Christmas patterns plus some non-Christmas patterns. So then we have the non kind of Christmassy patterns on this side, and the colors are Cherry Cobbler, Shaded Spruce, and Sahara Sand. So I love me a nice neutral, and Sahara Sand is one that I don't use very often, but it is pretty and I do like it, and I do need to use it more. So we're going to use Sahara Sand today on our project. The dies are really cool, and obviously they make a curvy line, which is amazing. I do have a few cards I can show you. I did do some swap cards, like this one here is from my friend Julie. So that uses this curvy die here. So that is really pretty. Look at that really fun edge on there. Really, really pretty. What else do we have? This is one that I made. So it's got the leaf images. You can see the leaves here. I cut the leaves out, I cut 2 of these out, and then I cut a bow from the Christmas set, and I layered them all together, added some gems, added a sentiment, and so this is a card that I made, really pretty. Here's one that I got where this was die cut, and then you just pull those apart, and then you can see the designer series paper and a sentiment there, so that's really fun. What else do we have that I'd want to share with you guys? I think that's it for today. Teasing you. And I will have an online class that I will be using this stuff. That'll be my online class for November. So it's going to be amazing. So I highly recommend. I'm going to put some links for this up very shortly. It's going to be amazing. And again, all of the classes or all of the projects in the class are going to have videos. So keep that in mind when you're looking at online classes. I offer videos. Okay. So let's get the things that we need to make the card. So we're going to start, of course, with some Sahara Sand cardstock. And then I have 2 pieces of cardstock. And then I have some little bits that I already ran through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that I will bring in momentarily. But I do need to pick out a piece of designer series paper. And so I have not decided if I want to use the dots, the stripes. I don't want to use, that's Christmas, and this is not a Christmas card. So I could use the stars, but I'm not gonna. How do you like that? I could, but I'm not gonna. Or I could use that, which is a fun pattern. I like that. What else can we choose here? That is a little bit not Sahara Sandy enough. It's more white than I would like it. What's on the back side of that? Oh, the Christmas trees. Okay, so I've got 3 options here, at least in my own mind. I've got 3 options here, and they are, I have no idea what to call this, but it's very pretty. Stripes and polka dots. I am a huge fan of polka dots a lot, and so I may just go with the dots. I'm going to see if this piece will fit on my card base. I don't know what size it is, so oh yeah, it will fit. We're going to go polka dots. I've made an executive decision, and there you go. Okay, now I can't remember if this trimmer is 6" or not. Ooh, look at that. It is. So I need this to be, oh, actually, no, it's not going to work. I need my bigger trimmer. So I need to cut this to the exact same size as my card. So I'm going to make my whole card front is going to be this pattern. So I'm cutting it at 5.5 by 4 1/4. There we go. Get this out of here. So we're going to end up attaching this to the front of the card. We're not going to have any border. It's just going to be all fun polka dots. Then I have 2 pieces of cardstock here. What do they measure? Who knows? The white is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. My pear pizzazz is 3.5. I think it's by 4 3/4. Yep, 4 3/4. Okay, so then I had a piece of Coastal Cabana, and I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with this little dotty friend here who's really cute. So I just had the piece here, and it's not super important how big the piece is. I mean, you want it to be a little, you want it to be bigger than 2 inches because my bump here is 2 inches anyway. So then I just laid this on my paper, ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and this is what I get. Actually, it's like this because I'm getting rid of that piece. Although I could use that because it does make a really nice, like a hill of some sort, okay? Or you can do it like this, and you can have something in the center here, like you could put your sentiment in between the 2 pieces, but I'm not using this right now. Did I have to poke the holes, Evelyn? Absolutely not. With our new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I literally do this, and they fall out. And I honestly could not believe it. And I've told the story before, but I'm going to say it again. I had a team meeting here a couple months ago, shortly after we could buy the machine, because I bought it right away when we could. And I had a team meeting, and one of my gals was here, and she was asking me about it. And she was like, oh, what do you think of it? And I was like, you know, I really like it. It cuts really nicely. And so I cut a very intricate die that I have that's one of those kind of plaid, big plaid things. And we pulled it out of the machine, and the bits were just falling out of it. And so I started flicking. Most of them came out. There were very few that got hung up in there, and I literally only had to just poke them with my pokey tool at the end of my take your pick, and they fell out. So this new machine, I had a Big Shot before that, and I literally had to roll things forwards, backwards. I had to move them around on the plates just to get it to cut. This thing, one pass. It's a miracle. And I love it, and I can't rave about it enough. And if you don't have it, you should buy it because it's amazing. Okay, so I am going to add this piece to my layer of white. Now, it's way too big. It doesn't matter. We're going to just trim it down. So I wanted to make sure that it was long enough that I could position it on here where I want it, and then I can cut it off. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it here first of where I would like it to be. So I'm eyeballing it to be about like that. So I'm going to cut off some of this right off the bat here. I know, my cutting skills are pretty awful. I agree. Okay, like that. So now I can just put the glue on the whole thing. And then it should just fit right on there. And then I'll have to trim off some of the excess again. I must have a glue booger plugging that up because that's not working that good. And then I'll just trim off my crappy cutting here in a minute. Okay, so we're going to do that. There we go, right to the edge. And then we can just finish cutting everything off. So I do find that with these dies, you need to cut your paper a little larger than you actually need it. Yeah, so you should cut your pieces of paper a little longer or a little wider than you actually want them to be, because then you can fiddle around with them and get them where you want them to be. So I find that to be helpful information for y'all. Okay, so then the stamp set comes with a bunch of fun sentiments. So we're going to use the one that says, thinking of you makes my day. All right, so here it is. So what I want to do with it is I want it to follow along, you know, the flow of what I've got here. So this is how it's going to go. I've got it face down on my block. So it's going to go through the bump. But I need to kind of bend it a little bit. And that is the beauty of photopolymer stamps, is you can kind of bend them. So like I said, I've got this upside down on my block. So I can kind of stick it to my block where I want it to be, and then I'm going to bring in another block, and then I'm going to pick it up. Okay, so I've just picked it up. So now I'm going to check again, is that the way I want it to go? And I think the answer is yes. So when I didn't bend it too much, just a little. All right, so I'm going to ink that up gently. Try not to get a bunch of ink on the block, which I always do. And then we're just going to follow our little hill here. Yay! Check it out. Isn't that cute? That just makes me really happy. All right. So now we can go ahead and attach this to our little layer of, what do you call it? Pear Pizzazz. And while I'm adding adhesive, I'm going to add adhesive to, oh, look at that. That's some fun Christmas, some holly berries and some garland. So that's on the other side. So yeah, this set's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I'm excited to start using it and showing you. And I am, like I said, going to have an online class with it. I'm also going to, I believe it's going to be my gift with purchase for the month. I will have some additional ideas for you. They won't have videos, but they will have written instructions. Okay, so we have that layer on that. We're going to add this to our Pear Pizzazz. And again, I'm just going to have a little tiny border. There's about 1/8 of an inch total, so we're only getting about a 1/16 or so. All right, so then that is going to go on here. I'm going to use some dimensionals, I do believe, to pop that up. Whoops, I am throwing dimensionals around here. Come back, you little dimensional. Okay. Okay, make sure I'm putting this on, not upside down. And this is probably the hardest part of this entire card, is getting this part centered. We're going to hope that it's decent. I think that looks okay. All right, so then, guys, I thought, how cute would that be? Well, someone just flushed the toilet upstairs, so sorry about that. If I use the Stitched Leaves dies here, I thought that would be kind of fun, and got myself some leaves to decorate this. And then I thought to myself, well, the whole thing came from, what colors am I going to use? Well, let me just show you. You might remember maybe a couple months ago, I made this gorgeous card using the Love of Leaves stamp set. And this was my color combination: Pear Pizzazz, Rococo Rose, Coastal Cabana, and Crumb Cake. Well, I've got Sahara Sand instead, which is a very close color to Crumb Cake. It's not exact by any means, but it's a neutral, and I think it looks good. So these are the colors. That's how I picked my colors. Okay. So sometimes you guys, you know, how do you come up with color combinations? Well, sometimes I just cheat and use other color combinations that I've already used recently and just make a different card with them, and then they're completely different. So that's what I did. So I've got some leaves cut out. Whoops, this one I didn't end up wanting because it was too big. But, so I used the dies and I got myself some leaves. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put some leaves on here. Whoops, do I have another one? No, because that one's kind of going the same way. So I was thinking I might do something kind of like this. Right over there on the corner, or right on the edge, I guess. Try not to cover up my thinking of you. And maybe we would turn that. So I didn't exactly finish the card. I do that a lot. I'll just kind of throw things out there and then kind of figure out, oh, what do I want to do? But I think that I like this. So I am going to go ahead and adhere these little things. Add some seal to the back of these little leaves. So I thought I would put the Pear Pizzazz one on the card. Have the Coastal Cabana one kind of hanging off the edge a bit. And then we will have our Rococo Rose right here. But there's more, because I also have these little sprigs come in. What do I do with it? Well, the curvy dies. Oh, here we go. So it's this little sprig right in here. And so I cut a few of them out of just vellum, because vellum is a very interesting paper and it adds some good interest to things. So I don't need this to be that long, so I just ripped it off. And so I'm going to add this with a glue dot. So I actually might roll it up. There we go. And I'll just kind of tuck that under. And this one, I thought we would tuck under that. Again, I don't need the whole thing, so I'm going to tear some of it off. And roll that dot. Ooh, what if we actually did like that? That's kind of fun. There we go. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then this last one, I think we'll have come sticking out of this here. Again, don't need the whole thing. So we'll just rip it off. And there we go. Ugh, I do not have any fingernails, as I'm sure you can see. So I'm going to tuck that one underneath. Ooh, that is fun. All right, so then we had a little bit of interest by having those little vellum flowers or leaf sprigs come out. And then the last thing I wanted to add was some bling, of course. And one of my favorite blings right now are these wonderful gems. So this package is almost gone, but there's red and clear. Actually, I have some more because I love them that much. So the red and clear, and then within each gem is like some gold glitter. And I know that you can't really see it very well on the red, but it's there. But these clear ones, you really can see. And so when I was kind of messing around with my card today, figuring out, you know, where do I want to place everything? What I do a lot of the times is I will cut these little guys off of their sheets, but leave the plastic so that I can actually like lay them on my project just to see if I like it without actually having them stick. So I do that a lot. So I kind of had these, I was messing around with them, you know, putting them here, putting them there. And that's what I think we're going to do. So now we'll just take your pick tool and we'll pick them off of these little pieces of plastic. Hopefully I didn't give myself some struggles here. And I had no idea exactly where I was going to put them. Actually, I might be able to pick it off with I have a tiny sort of nail here. Yeah, this may have been a bad idea. Again, like I said in the beginning of the show, you want to come here to learn what not to do. So there you go. Okay, oh, this one, maybe I'm going to move it. If I can get it off there without tearing the paper, I'm going to move it. Yeah, I'm going to put it over here instead. Okay, so isn't that fun? I love it. And then I also wanted to add some things to the inside. So I thought maybe I could take some of these extra leaves and just, you know, throw them in there and then trim off the excess. I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to decorate the inside of your card. People don't always expect that when they open up a card to have it decorated on the inside. And I don't always do it. I'm not going to lie. I always want to do it, but it doesn't always happen. So there you go. Okay, where's my scissors? Hello, scissors. Where are you? Oh, underneath my ink pad. So I'm going to trim those ends off. And this little side here. Okay, so we have the front, and then we open it up when we have some fun leaves on the inside, and so there we go. So I am going to leave that right there while I clean up my mess. Oh, and here's another card I made, basically the same. Oh, my daisy got messed up. Anyways, it's the same card, but I used the daisy and the striped paper instead. So there you have it.